You got to control the speed of the play of the ball against Warrington. I mean, you couldn't do it, could you?
You got to control the speed of the play of the ball in any competition. I think that's one of those givens in the game, in the modern game especially. Like they say, the ruck is king. It's just you got to get that, especially when you, and again, more so against Warrington because their whole game through Radford, through Russell, through even when Clark didn't play, but for Dwyer, they've got those kind of players. Even when Atkins gets in there and Evans. The speed of the ruck is key because they'll just get you rolling backwards. And I think what you can't ever underestimate and how they get that speed of play of the ball is that Chris Hill's probably the best front row in the competition. His footwork and his strength are outstanding. He lands on his front consistently no matter how many people you put in there. So the challenge was always going to be about controlling Chris Hill, controlling their dummy half runs, and we failed to do that. Especially in that mostly from right from the start of the game, but in that first 20-25 minutes, we were rolling backwards at an easy rate.
You probably could have changed the way that they felt about the game and taken a couple of your chances in the first 10 minutes or so.
Well, that's the momentum of the game and the energy that you can gain or lose by not being accurate in your skill and not taking opportunities when they arise. And that's the level where you get those chances, they're few and far between them, but when they do come and you've worked hard to create those opportunities, you've got to take them, because good sides then work you out a little bit. So the same plays don't always work again and again, so if you get an understanding of how you're going to open a side up, their ability to adapt is good because they're a top four side. You've got to get them before they can adapt and stop you doing it again. And they did that. They saw our threat, they eased off a little bit, they stopped hitting the outside shoulders hard, and it just took a little bit out of what Reece was offering at the start. And but if you think that two actions within there, even like I said, there was another couple as well, but two definitely. The ball inside from Charlie to Reece. If Reece catches it, scores on the post. Reece is past the back of that man. If it's another like 3 or 4 inches lower and it's a better pass, Pat scores in the corner. So even if you just took those couple of actions in that first 15-20 minutes, even if Warrington score a couple of tries, if you're looking at a game that's 10-12, you're looking at a completely different game from a game that's 20-0.
Fair play to you, Laszlo. You didn't throw the towel in at all. The second half was an evenly contested game.
But that's a given. That I think it's one of those kind of things where I don't expect this group to ever lie down. We might lose games, but we don't want to get beaten. It's one of those kind of strange plays on a word, but like you say, when you're beaten and you're just lying down and you let somebody walk over you, then you've got to look at changing personality. You've got to always question personality. I don't question personality in our team. It's not something you do. We've got a great bunch of blokes that want to work hard for each other. We got caught out. We lacked some energy at times, and I think I've got to put my hand up a little bit of that. I think the training last week on the back of the Wigan game was we probably stretched them a little bit too far, and because how hard and how much we worked. Lads don't want to use it as an excuse. Looking through some of the stuff we've done and the data we rolled out last week, maybe I just wanted to put them in a mindset of like I said, you've not achieved anything by beating Wigan, and don't think that we can ease off. And we looked a little bit fatigued. We did look fatigued in that first 20 minutes. Warrington capitalised on that around the ruck. But like I say, it's a side that we didn't give up. We just didn't have the application to be able to deal with the quality that Warrington threw us.
So a week off for them then this week for the Saints game, then is that?
Well, we'll see how we go with that. Yeah, see if that works. No, it's not. It's not about a week off, or it's how we use the time. It's got a little bit more time this week. How we use that time, and then the drive and the desire to be able to want to come out and play against a side that wants to win. They say that these 4 sides, without us, I mean, this is quite well documented. Without us having anything to achieve, apart from our highest finish in the competition ever, you're playing against sides that have. So they turn up with the attitude that they've got to win because it affects what happens next in their home draws and what can give them an opportunity of making the big game at the end of the year. So that's got to change our mindset, because if we don't turn up ready to go, it could end up looking like a real nasty day, and that's not something that we don't want to do wherever we play.
and this is your last home game of the season, so you want to go out on a high, don't you?
I think we did. I think our supporters deserve a performance. They deserve us to be at our best and showing the desire and the attitude and the application that we've put in all year in a lot of our away performances and even some of our home performances, but fell a little bit short. I think they deserve us to put that out there. And the players themselves, they want to play well. They want to end the year at home in a strong fashion, and recognition for them and for the supporters of how big a year this has been for the club at lots of levels. We've made some massive strides this year, and the quality of our players gone up. Our defensive efforts have got better. We've finished higher in the table. We've pushed sides really close throughout the competition, and I think we were consistently inconsistent over the last few years. This year we were consistently consistent. So it's one of those, but we need to get better, and we need to win those games. We're in the fight, so we need to come out the other side of those real tough games. At the moment we're coming second best in a tight competition. We need to be the team that falls on the right side of the line.
So what about Saints then, Dennis? Going all right, aren't they? I think they've won 8 out of 9, something like that, and some threats in that team.
They're a great side, aren't they? It's one of those, a great club, lots of good players, lots going for them as an organisation, and they've got a group that's been through some adversity, and they've been pulled together by a coaching team that's just kept them tight. I mean, they know what they're driving towards, and they know what's important, and they talk constantly about the demands of being involved in a St Helens team. And I think the adversity that they went through at times, and people are probably writing them off constantly throughout the year, has helped. The coaching team has helped Kieran pull them together, has bound that group back into a tight unit, and they win tough games. They win games that are messy. They're coming out the other side, and that winning breeds a different mentality. I think they think they've got a chance of winning this competition, and so they should. They get the form they're showing and what's going around them. I think they're in with a real good shout of being in the grand final again, and that's a long way to come from where people spoke about them at the middle of the year and not making the top 4. They're actually now in with a shout of winning this competition. And what we've got to do is we've got to take that lesson on and realise that how tough a game is going to be on Sunday. But we've still got to drive that desire to want to win.
Some of the individuals in the Saints side, I think Johnny Lomax has come back from his serious injury really well from, hasn't he? And James Roby's always a danger from dummy half, so plenty to worry about individually.
I think, like I say, talk about the quality of the players in there. And John Wilkins has been fantastic from this year as well. I think, like I say, for an old stager, his left foot and his kicking game has really helped him out. He's stuck in there and done some fantastic things for him in real tough games. I think Worms has started to show some form on the back of that. McCarthy Scarsbrook's been outstanding as well. I like stages this year. He's really given a boost. Greenwood started to score points again, and he's dangerous in the back row as Attila is. They've got some young kids that are fighting hard. Like I say, you talk about across the board without even mentioning Johnny or James. So like I said, they're just like a little bit of sprinkles of real stardust on the top of a hard-working group of players. And that's, I think, the mentality within Saints is that we've got to stick together, we've got to be hard-working, we've got to do the little things really well. And I think that's got them the wins that they've had so far this year.
How's your team looking this week, personnel-wise, injury-wise, Dennis?
Good at the moment. Like I say, nobody's really, with some bumps and bruises. It's one of those strange things after a game, where a game of that sort, that the lads are a bit beaten up, they're feeling sorry for themselves. Today's about a day of getting them in, assessing where we are, and then just pushing through it, putting the game behind us. With the long week, starting today, using today as a real energiser, and setting it as a platform for the rest of our training this week. But as injury-wise, we seem to be, like I say, as of now, we seem to be okay.
Any temptation to throw in a couple of lads who've missed out in the last?
Yeah, massive temptation. Like I say, you don't put performance in like we did on Friday night and not expect to make a couple of changes. All that, like I say, Manasseh's ready to go, so's McGrath, Lulawai. They're pretty keen to get back in the mix.
A couple of non-Widnes questions, if you don't mind. congratulations to Lee, promoted, and a new face in Super League next year.
I think it's fabulous. I think it's one of those ones where, actually, they should have probably been in the Super League a couple of years ago. If you'd have worked the system properly, they deserved that opportunity. They know what they wanted. They've got a great ground, they've got a good support base. They've won the competition on a number of years. They're the best team in that competition. I think, like I say, last year was maybe helped them in this year because they started to understand what the qualifiers look like and how they approached it. So you got to give them a massive pat on the back to the coaching team and also to, like I said, to Beaumont, Beaumont, for sticking in there and getting them to this place. And I think it's really good for us, especially, like I say, a local derby. That's going to bring a better crowd. We know that it's going to be a real tough game, and all of a sudden you're looking at we're still in a competition. We've got Leigh, St Helens, Warrington, Wigan. It's great for the town to be in that situation where we've got such a high intensity group of teams to play against. I'm not sure who's going to miss out on the other side of it, but for us and for Leigh, it's a real big boost.
And they don't look too badly. Have you been 3 Super League teams in this mini competition? I know they've not been playing to the intensity of Super League week in, week out prior to that, but they've got a reasonable chance.
They've built a side this year, and you've got to give them a lot of credit. They built a side for the playoffs. They built a side that's got Super League players in. Like say, you look through Harrison, Hanson, Patterson, Weston. They've got a side, and Mickey Hine went there for that reason. They've got a side that's built on Super League, a pack more so. You look, like I say, the Tickle and the Hawks and that. They've built a pack that can get into a fight and come out the other side and can disrupt opposition because they can defend and they know the little detail that's needed when you're playing at that intensity. So he's put a group of players together to play in the qualifiers to get them this result. And it's, like I say, it's paid off. It's like Matua and Patterson, like I say, a fantastic roster of players when you read through it. It's a roster, it's a Super League roster.